Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. It's time for another DIY mystery box challenge. If you are new to this is the quick rundown. I gather up a group of YouTubers and we all have a box that we send to another YouTuber. Inside that box are random items that we must make DIYs with. Each box is themed, and this month we are using supplies from the good old Dollar Tree. There's always those 2 wrap challenge items that we have to use, and then there's a twist. One thing that I think you're going to see as the year progresses is that the twists are getting harder, and I'm so glad that nobody quit when I shared this month's twist. So here's the twist. For one of our DIYs, we cannot use any type of glue adhesive. I mean, that's glue stick, glue dots, glue gun, Mod Podge, like it's anything that would be considered a glue, we can't use it. So I don't know if that was a great idea, but I guess we'll find out. So who did I send my box to? I sent it over to my good old buddy, Shannon from The Daily DIYer, and I got my box from Kelly over at Kelly Barlow Creations. So I've got my box right here next to me. I'm ready to open it up and see what Kelly sent. Here's my box. Let's open it up and see what Kelly sent. Here's a card. I love these cards. It says hello. And then it says, creativity is intelligence having fun. Courtney, bahaha. I always love when you are the one that I get to send a box to. I hope that the contents of this mystery box brings you some fun inspiration. I look forward to seeing what you create. Happy crafting, my DIY friend. Hugs, Kelly. So that's the sweet little card. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, I'm gonna put my glasses on because I'm blind. So here we go. I have a feeling she's usually always pretty kind. So challenge item 2 and 1. I'll set those aside. And then here's, oh, okay, here's a little something just to brighten your day. Oh, okay, warm fuzzy socks. I absolutely love these. Love, love, love them. So thank you for that. Very nice. All right, we got a welcome windmill. Windmill. I always say windmill. I don't know. How do you say it? Windmill? Windmill. I don't know. Pennant banner. That's good. Burlap. You can always use that. A nice sign blank with the beads on top. Perfect. A hello sign. There we go. Oh, some fabric. I haven't. Oh, this is cute. It's got little trucks. Hold on, let me see if I can open this. Stand by. And then if I can get it in focus. It's got little trucks with flowers. That's really cute. Super cute. All right. Thank you. We got some tags. Okay. Oh, another little, oh, this is a cute sign. It says home. It's a great sturdy base for that. Oh, I've had this before. This green ribbon brings back nightmares. Okay. I'm not good at this ribbon, Kelly. So, little, okay. What is this? Rub-on transfer. Perfect. Cute little glass rub-on transfer. Oh yes, can't go wrong with some wood blanks. This is a 4-piece set of the wood blanks. This is a very good box, Kelly. Although I haven't opened the, okay, then this is, what is this? Some little, oh, they're just like little, I don't know what you want to call them. Little things, we're going to call them. There's a truck, a barn. Sorry, trying to focus on my face. Farm fresh, little pig medallion, whatever, and cow. That's not a whatever, it's a cow. And a cat. Okay, those are cute. Huh, I wonder what they're, it's just like decor pieces. I've never seen those before at my Dollar Tree, so I don't know. And then some adhesive cork. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like you gave a very well-rounded box. All right, challenge item number 1. We'll see if I change my mind. This is always so nerve-wracking opening these. Okay, my Dollar Tree never had these, and now I'm wishing nobody's Dollar Tree ever had them. It's a pegboard. Okay. I don't know what to say to that other than I I have no idea. How do you make a pegboard something else that's not a pegboard? It's very tricky, Kelly. Very tricky. All right, challenge item number 2. Okay, this is not bad. Okay, is it wooden rulers? Yes. 2-pack of wooden rulers. Okay. This is not bad. This is not bad. Bad. Not bad. Bad. Okay. So I'm going to think on this for a couple days, a few seconds your time. We're going to see what we can whip out, working in that crazy twist that I came up with. Now I'm really just questioning why I did that. But we'll do it. A DIY with no glue. So let's go. For project number 1, I will be working with the home sign and fabric. To start with, I took that home sign and popped out the center portion that said home, then grabbed a piece of white foam board that I had in my stash from Dollar Tree, traced around the frame, and cut out the foam board. Once the foam board is cut, I set it on top of my frame, then grabbed a paint. This is just a Waverly chalk paint because the size was just right. I set it towards one end of the foam board. You want to leave about, I don't know, 1.5 inches from the short end of the foam board to where your paint bottle is. Trace around the base of it, and then you want to cut that out. So I just used my hobby knife to cut out the circle, and again, you'll see it's about 1.5 inches to the end of the foam board. You definitely want to make sure you have that little bit of space because you'll see why soon. It's time to attach that foam board, so I took my glue gun and just ran the hot glue all along the frame, stuck my piece of foam board directly on that, and made sure it was nice and secure. Any guesses what I'm making so far? Anyone? Now, what I've got here is some of the Dollar Tree contact paper. I want to cover this thing with the contact paper, so I cut a piece of it. And basically what I ended up doing, and I didn't do it very gracefully or very pretty, or I don't even know what you want to call it, but it got the job done. I set it down and made sure that the long sides of the pieces pulled over. It was nice and smooth. And then on each end, I kind of did the little present, where you fold in the corners and then you fold it over. That's kind of how I ended up doing the 2 short ends of this little assembly piece that I have right here. Then once that was in there, obviously the contact paper wasn't going to stick that great, so I just went crazy with Scotch tape, y'all, because this one is not the twist DIY. So that's right, I just took Scotch tape and went to town putting that down to secure that contact paper. If you were wondering about that hole, well, here you go. We're going to cut the contact paper. Now, I started off thinking I was going to make this look all pretty and pull the little slices and pull it back, and then I was like, I'm just going to trim around the top. So I did try to leave a little bit of an overhang as I trimmed around the circle on the top, and then I just took Scotch tape and just pulled those little, I don't know what you want to call them, scrappies or little overhang scraps, I don't know, and pulled them down, and it made the hole look just fine. We are making a tabletop cornhole game. Let me know in the comments if you've ever played cornhole. Now, sorry about this little ninja move here where I took the piece of wood. You didn't get to see what it was. It basically was a piece of the Dollar Tree block wood that I had it was a scrap piece. And what we're trying to make here now is a stand. So we want the end where the hole is, that's the part you want it to stand up just a little bit so that this ends up going to be an angle, okay? So when you're setting on the table, it kind of slopes down, if that makes sense. So what I ended up doing here and was not the best anyway. I knew that technically I should have just angled this piece of wood, but I was like, oh no, I can make it work. So I put a bunch of glue on here, stuck it up underneath there, not really paying attention of where I was sticking it. And I was like, oh yeah, this is great. The base is flat, it's attached. But then when I flipped it over, this is what we got. There was a gap. So I took a piece of foam board, shoved that up in there, and then I took a Jenga block that I cut in half and secured the sides to make sure that that base was really secure on the underneath side of this cornhole platform. For the bean bags for this game, I took that fabric and cut little strips and glued it with the pretty side to pretty side on on 2 sides. And then here I am turning it inside out. Left one end open because you do need to fill these. Now, you could fill them with beans if you wanted to, but because these are miniature size, I did rice. So I just filled them up with rice, not all the way to the top. You actually want them to have a little bit of room. So you're going for probably like, I don't know, 2/3 full maybe, because you will need to fold that top and glue that. Once I got it glued, I did kind of toss the bags around to make sure that rice wasn't going flying everywhere like you were at some kind of wedding, and they were good to go. The final touch is most of the cornhole games have some type of logo or design on them, so of course I needed to add something to mine, and I just took a flower transfer. This is actually a transfer thing that was left over from the last subscriber mystery box, and I applied that to it, and then there you go. You got yourself a little cornhole desk game that you can sit and play instead of being productive at work. For the next DIY, I will be using the tags and the glass rub-on transfers. So for this one, I'll also be tackling that twist, which was to not use any type of glue or adhesive. To start, I decided, okay, I'm going to grab out a couple of these tags. So I grabbed 3 of the tags, and then I grabbed 3 colors of paint. I did orange, green, and white. And I decided that in order to get my transfers down onto these black tags, and the transfers are black, I had to put color on these. So here's a little Thanksgiving craft for you. Just kind of chalk this up and then remember it later on. So I grabbed the paint and I just kind of painted swipes on there. I wasn't going for full coverage on the tag or anything like that. I just wanted the color on the tag enough to where I could take each of the transfers and set them down. So I did grateful on one, thankful on one, and then the blessed along with the little leaves and pumpkin on the last one. I had thought about tying some, well actually I was gonna glue some little wood embellishments to this, and then I remembered I can't use glue. And so I'd actually tried tying some on there, but it looked a little ridiculous if I'm being honest. So I thought, you know what, less is more in this DIY, so that's it. Here are some cute little tags you can just tie around some napkins when you set those place settings for Thanksgiving. Rolling into this one, I've got the sign, the windmill, and my favorite green ribbon. So to start, I'm actually going to be leaving the sign as is for this DIY, so that's good to go. Then taking the little windmill, I wanted just the welcome portion of this. So I grabbed my tin snips because I thought I was going to have to try to cut these wires, but it actually just kind of popped off by, doing a little finagle dance with it, and it just popped right off, which was great. The next part of this DIY is the green ribbon, so I measured a piece of it, the length of the bottom of this sign, and cut it in half. Then I took some hot glue and I just tacked each little strip down. I kind of just went around and tacked glue around because I knew I'd be kind of covering up and the glue wouldn't end up showing in the end. So I just got enough on there to be able to tack it, tacked one down, tacked the second one down. Now it's time to add some flowers. So I opted to add these little baby daisies that I had in my stash. And so I just cut several of them and just kind of scattered them about using some hot glue to tack those down to the bottom. And once that was finished, I felt like it needed just a little bit more. So I did tack down the welcome sign with some hot glue. Just be careful because when you put the hot glue on there, you'll feel that heat coming through that little metal sign. So just be careful when you tack it down. And to finish it off, since there was an even number of beads, there were 10 beads at the top, I kind of split them 5 and 5, grabbed a yellow ribbon, tied a bow so that when it hangs up, it kind of just sits there nice and centered. And now I've got a cute little welcome sign. I'll be using the burlap pennant banner and the doodly dauber shape things for this DIY. So I wanted to keep it a banner because I wanted to try something, and I'm keeping it kind of simple, but I wanted to do, it's kind of a springy time DIY, but honestly you could use it for summer too. So I wanted to try to put transfers on these burlap pins. I wasn't sure if it was going to work because the burlap has the hole, but this was really thick, sturdy burlap. So I was just feeling really good that it was going to work. And guess what? It did. So I'm using some of these transfers. These are from Essential Stencils. They have the best transfers ever. And speaking of that, tools, anything you see in my video today will be linked down below in the description box for you if you have questions. So what I did is I just took different flowers, and on each little pennant triangle, I transferred over an image and put a flower on the banner. With the 2 circles from that little 4-pack set of doodly daubers, I just took some white paint and painted them with 1 coat of white paint, set those aside to dry. Then I grabbed that green ribbon again and decided that these would be good to just kind of add some more, I don't know, texture, some more color to this banner. So I cut strips along with some Dollar Tree lace so that I could tie them in between each of the burlap pennants. Now with those 2 white circles, I did add butterfly transfers to those, and then on the end of each of the pennants, I just looped it and tied it off and then hot glued those little circles to each end of this banner, and it was ready to be hung up. We are moving into challenge items now. For this DIY, I will be using the challenge item, which was the wooden rulers, the cork sheet, and the wood pieces. I literally, for the last 10 minutes, have been sitting here singing a jingle about challenge items. Let me know if you feel like I should make a mystery box jingle for this whole thing. I feel like it needs its own theme song. Anyway, you want to grab your rulers and peel off those little sticker measurements. They come off super easy. Put the ruler so that the flat side's facing you and that the holes are at the top as you're looking down. Now grabbing 2 of the little wood plank boards, I took some hot glue and hot glued down 1 at the base, making sure that it just lines up with the bottoms of the rulers. And then about 2 inches above that, I put some more hot glue down and glued down another wood piece. To get my shelves attached to this little display, I needed to use 4 of the tumbling tower blocks, so I glued 2 together, and then I hot glued that to the other wood pieces, the actual shelving pieces. Once those were secured to the shelving pieces, then I hot glued those directly on to my little, I don't know, base platform thing you have here. Now I didn't put them at the bottom of it. You can kind of see that I kind of pushed them up just a little bit, but you can space the shelves wherever you want it. You can center it on those boards that are on the ruler, or you can put it towards the bottom, whatever you want to do. Totally up to you. And quick little oopsie here. One thing I probably should have done to make my life a little bit easier was, before I glued on my shelves, measured the cork sheet out with the little boards. I mean, it's not that hard. I just placed the cork sheet up there and marked it and then cut it, but I would definitely do that. So if you plan on making this, I would definitely measure the cork board before you attach your shelves. We're in the final stretch here, so I decided to spray paint this with just some of this Rust-Oleum flat enamel paint. And then once that got nice and spray painted, I took my cork sheets and stuck them directly down onto the shelves. This is a very strong adhesive on these, so you don't really need to do anything else, and it's ready to be hung up and used. It's time to use up the last 2 items in my box, which were the pegboard, which was my second challenge item, and the hello sign. To start, I took the pegboard and one of these little boards from Dollar Tree. I measured the inside of the pegboard so that this board would sit inside of it, and I need 2 of these. So I marked it, took it outside, and cut them down. I had this pretty floral scrapbook paper that came from Hobby Lobby, so I grabbed my pegboard, just traced around it, and then cut out the piece of scrapbook paper, then took some Mod Podge and placed that on the scrapbook paper and attached my scrapbook paper to the top of the pegboard. While the Mod Podge on the pegboard starts to dry, I grabbed this little hello sign, removed the hello with my screwdriver, then grabbed some pink scrapbook paper, cut a little strip of it, and just wrapped the piece of wood with the pink scrapbook paper using tape to secure it. I also wanted to mention that I did put Mod Podge on the top of the floral scrapbook paper as well. Now, you kind of need to work quickly here because you're going to go through and poke the holes back through, and if you let that Mod Podge dry all the way, it will kind of maybe make the paper a little less it's just a little less able to work with it. So by it still being a little bit soft, I was able to poke the holes very easily and kind of just manipulate that paper and shove it back down into the holes. Now we want to grab those 2 boards that we cut down to fit inside the pegboard and just use some hot glue to get those attached. Let me quickly tell you what I did here, but I'm not going to show you the steps because I didn't like how it turned out. So what I did is I actually took some scrapbook paper and then I just covered all 4 sides of this thing. So I did pinks on the short end and then I did floral scrapbook paper on the others. And I was like, what am I doing? I don't know. And I didn't really like it. And it just kind of looked funky up close. So I ended up ripping off the scrapbook paper and using some of this white trim. It ended up kind of looking like a little, I don't know, skirt around it. So I just used some hot glue and attached this white trim all the way around the edge of my little pegboard box display thing. Now that little pink thing that we wrapped up, I grabbed some of these gold stickers. These are from Dollar Tree that I had in my stash, and I just put down the letters to spell the word celebrate. Then grabbed 2 Dollar Tree dowel rods, stuck them into my little display, and hot glued my pink sign to the dowel rods. Also made 2 little bows. These are just pink and white ribbon that came from Hobby Lobby originally, and I hot glued a bow to each of the dowel rods. Now I took out my little celebrate sign so I could do this next part. I did not have any green foam. I had a ton of these white styrofoam rounds in my stash, so I just cut them down to fit inside of this little pegboard thing, but you are going to need some type of styrofoam. Then once you get that in there, you want to take this down to your kitchen and do the next part, which is super fun. And here is the next part. So I've got my little stand, I've got some paper straws from Dollar Tree that I've just kind of collected, and I've got some mini cupcakes. Don't mind the don't eat. I have to label things in my house so that my kids don't eat them when they're not supposed to. I'm not a cake pop fan, but you certainly could do cake pops here instead. But all I'm going to do is take one of the mini cupcakes. I take a knife and just kind of slit the paper at the bottom, just shove a straw up in there, and then bam-o, you've got yourself this really cute little display for mini cupcakes. I love doing mini cupcakes on straws and doing different display things, but I never even thought to use a pegboard until I got this from Kelly. So there we go, a cute little stand. You could make this for all different occasions, you know, do a graduation theme, a Christmas theme. I mean, so many options, but super easy to do, and it turns out really cute. And that's a wrap for this mystery box challenge. Let me know down below which one of these projects did you like the best. Also, I always love to ask you guys this: what would you have done with the 2 challenge items, the pegboard and the wooden rulers? I always love to hear what you might have done with those tricky items. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to check out the description box. It's got the playlist with all the videos in order. Here are some more videos that you might enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!